Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of the Three Man Rush Show. We're
Yes,
back.
sir.
What's up, y'all?
Man, Rush.
Life is good, brother. Life is good, man.
It's good, man. Yeah. So you guys know last episode we did our mock draft. We actually had our home league draft this past weekend. Went well for some of us, but not all of us. I can't. Yeah, I had a terrible draft, but we'll get into that later. How y'all feeling? Everybody good?
Yeah, we good, man. The show on the road.
How you feeling coming out of your draft still?
Um, with that being my only draft this year, I feel pretty good. What the strategy I have seemed to have worked. I got most of the players I wanted. Um, and I don't feel like I really reached for anything. So
That's cool. That's cool. We're gonna dive in a minute, but T.O., you felt good after the draft? How'd you feel?
Not not good. I never know how to feel because our draft is always a week before like the season actually. Well, it's like 2 weeks before the season actually starts. So like I feel good about some people. Some people a little dicey. I'm not sure about due to questionable, teams they play for.
Yeah.
But I mean, good as possible. Leaving the draft, that's all you can do. You
Yeah.
just gotta wait and see. That's it.
That's great for y'all. I know I felt terrible afterwards.
I mean, you had a very unique approach to the draft, man. So
The
definitely did.
zero RB draft. But we'll
yeah,
get
Not
into
prepared.
that. Let's jump into the news around the league, man. Jonathan Taylor, the deadline was set for 29th, 4 o'clock. Deadline came, the deadline went. Jonathan Taylor's still with the Colts. They're going to leave him on the pup. So that means he'll be out for the first 4 games, no matter if he gets traded or not. Man.
There's no way they can trade him while he's on the pup. Like nobody's going to trade for him, give him a contract, and not be able to use this bull for 4 weeks. Like no way that's happening. And
Isn't
then you
the
heard,
pup like a
huh?
go to you?
I was saying you heard the outlandish stuff they was asking for the Jonathan Taylor trade. Like
No,
you gonna ask you heard that they asked the Dolphins for Jalen Waddle for Jonathan Taylor.
I didn't hear what was in the details of the trade, but
Man, they said they were asking outlandish everywhere. So really, I don't think like they want to get a deal done. I think they just want to make him suffer for real, for real.
that's what it sounds like. They got Sean Ursay over there. I mean Jim Ursay. It's kind of crazy over there. Still, what'd you think? Did you think he was going to get dealt before the deadline, or did this surprise you?
Nah, nah, I didn't think it was gonna be dealt, man. They gonna keep those running backs and grind them to the ground. Like, what's the benefit? What's the benefit of them trading? That's why they're gonna ask for something outlandish because they own his services.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it's
if
like,
he ends up sitting out this year, let's just say, hypothetically, they still own his rights for like another 2 years, would it be? Because then I guess this year won't count, or
yeah, they can still
is this kind
franchise
of like
tag him.
similar to what Le'Veon Bell did?
I think so.
Uh,
Was
it's
Bell
similar,
still on
but
his
the
rookie
rules have changed.
contract?
No, he was coming out off his rookie contract. He was on that 5th year thing, I think. Oh, he was eligible.
But
He
Jonathan
was.
Taylor still had one more year, though, right?
I think he
Yeah,
still got one more year left on
he still got one more.
the.
He just wanted that early extension to kind of get locked up.
Yeah, and also so he can, I would think so he can maneuver without the threat of that. Like they can't franchise tag him this year. You only can franchise tag him if you about to go be a free agent. He's still under contract for another year, so
Yeah. He's
he
trying to
can.
avoid that franchise tag no matter what.
Oh, he know
But
what's
Yeah,
coming next year. He know what's coming.
yeah,
it's
yeah.
looking ugly for all running backs out there. But
Oh no,
man,
this is the last year. This is the last year of his
last
deal.
year was though.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
next year he'd be an unrestricted free agent.
Man, I mean, I feel sorry for the people who, spent an early round pick on him. I mean, he was going, with all the news that was going on about him, like push him back to like late second, third round pick. But that's a lot of value to give up, for a guy now that's going to be out for 4 weeks. What do you guys think?
Shoot, not that. I think he's still hurt. I don't even know if he fully recovered from that ankle injury he had last season. Like, did you see him? I know I saw the videos of him walking on the sidelines at practice. I don't know whether that was because of the Jim Irsay thing or what, but he looked like he was like an NBA veteran over there for after about 15 seasons. Like, he had a nice little limp going over there. I said,
Oh yeah, you saw limp? I don't know. I felt like he just, he's sitting out. He didn't want to get injured. I'm not going to practice until I get a contract. And I don't know. I feel like he put himself in a bad situation. He should have just played it out. And it's tough to ask for a new contract when you still got another. No, you said this is last year, or you got one more left?
This is last year, and then they could franchise him next year.
Yeah. So what y'all think? Do you think that he played his last game for the Colts already? Does he play at some point this season?
He played the game. Like I think he's dug in to the point where he doesn't care about this season at all. I think he's going to sacrifice it. Like that bridge is burned.
Yeah, I feel like his pride is hurt now, but like at the end of the day, man, really, he doesn't have any leverage. To be honest.
Yeah.
Once he starts missing games, I think he's going to start getting fined. Missing game checks. That change your mind real quick.
I mean, technically, he's not missing game checks yet. If he can still play his injury off, he's on a pup, so he still gets his checks.
It's something with the pup where, like, it's weird with the contract situation. I forget how it is, but some way he can finesse it into, like, not playing and still getting paid.
Because they put him on the pup.
Well, I hope he can't finesse his way on the IR spots in these fantasy leagues. I ain't gonna.
Yes, he will. He will be. If he's on the pup, he's gonna be on the IR.
4 weeks. Yep.
So what are you doing? Like, if you drafted, you just had your draft, like we just had our draft this past weekend. You drafted Jonathan Taylor. What are you doing? You put him on IR? Are you going to cut him? Are you going to try to trade him? What are you doing?
Man, I would have put him in IR and try to get his backup, Deion Jackson, and try to be prepared for that, or at least drafted him, knowing that all these things for the contract is going on.
Yeah. So you think Deion Jackson? You think he's the next man up out there in Indy?
For right now,
for right now, yeah.
Zach Moss is he the other backup over there, but his
Zach Moss got a broken
arm or something like that.
Yeah, I think he broke his forearm. But I mean, he's still Zach Moss and he stinks. So I know they have a rookie, who's named Hall.
Hall.
They like him. So I don't know. Would you just had your draft, you don't really have any open spots. Would you add or would you drop one of your players that you drafted to pick up one of the backup running backs out there, Andy? Either Deion Jackson or Hall?
I would, yeah. I mean, obviously, I did it personally, so yeah, I would do it. I mean, it'd be the end of the bench guy, but yeah, I'd take the chance. Like, you never know.
How many fat bucks would you shell out for him?
What do you think? No more than 5%. Like, I don't think he's worth anything more than that.
Still, what about you? What do you think? Think it's worth the pickup?
Yeah, definitely worth the pickup. You can't just let the next man up just walk around in the waiver wires in the same position that you drafted he's replacing the player that you drafted that's out. So that makes no sense.
Yeah, and I mean, like 4 weeks of a replacement is worth it to me.
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Not 100%. Not 100%. But
I mean, I feel like if you drafted well and you feel confident in your team, like you may be in a position it's like, hey, I got some sleepers I may not want to cut yet. You know what I mean? At the back of your bench, is it worth it to pick up a backup guy just because he's going to be starting? If he's getting you 8 points, if he's getting you 8 points a week, because he's a backup for a reason, or he's not going to get you Jonathan Taylor numbers.
No,
going to
not.
No.
offense with a rookie quarterback who likes to run himself. So I don't know. I'm not sure I would invest. I like what you said, 5% of your fab budget. I feel like that's fair. I wouldn't really go beyond that, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
but like
that's
if you're
fair.
going, let's say you're going India bench, like I don't know, you might have had. Let me look at our Tyler
Yeah,
Boyd, something like that, like somebody
yeah.
I
Boy,
mean, doesn't
grab
really.
two defenses or something like that.
Yeah, like somebody really doesn't have like a ceiling or like any real big shot to do anything like that. Like they expendable at that point.
Yeah.
Like you can take a chance on somebody with them.
Anything else on Jonathan Taylor and the Colts before we move on? All
No
right.
sir.
So we had a little trade going on. Well, there's a lot of trades going on. It was weird with kickers, but the big trade, Dallas Cowboys traded for Trey Lance, San
Hmm.
Francisco. Traded him for what, fourth round pick?
Was it a fourth?
Yeah, I think it was a fourth round pick.
Okay.
What do you guys think about that trade?
I think I think it's saying something. I heard Dak didn't hear anything about it, man. They didn't give him any heads up. Nothing saying they was trading for him.
I heard the
Heard-
coach didn't even know.
Oh wow.
Jerry
Wow.
Jones is like Jerry Jones wild out there.
Yeah, but then he trashed him. Then he trashed Trey Lance after that. Like, yeah, we're not trying to use him at all this year. We don't really want to have him there. Like, he just trashed him in the media right after he traded for him. I'm like, what is happening over here?
That boy,
But
see now, man.
I
yeah,
think I know what's happening. I mean, next year Dak is due 59 million against the Cat. That's a lot. That's a big pill to swallow, for Dak. Especially he's been there what 7, 8 years. I think this is his 8th season with the Cowboys. But he got one, maybe two playoff wins. Never been to the conference finals. Like I
you
don't
think
know.
it's
You think it's
He's
time
the
for the Cowboys to move on from Dak if this doesn't work out this year?
I think I don't know. This gives me Alex Smith vibes over there. Like this is like when they drafted Patty, brought him in there. I think it's gonna motivate him. And like you remember Alex Smith was putting up crazy numbers for that season. Like I think
He still
I
got
think
him
it's
out of there.
yeah, he still got him and deservingly so. But
Yeah.
that's what it's giving me that vibe right now. Like I think it's gonna motivate Dak to put them in a tougher situation than what they already in now.
I mean, he said, what did he say? He wasn't going to throw double-digit interceptions this year, and after
Mm-hmm.
he threw, 15 last year? I think he might have led the league in picks last year, but still, what do you think about Dak and his fantasy production after the trade?
and I don't think the trade affects Dak whatsoever for this season.
No extra
I,
motivation?
oh, it might be. Hopefully, it is, so I can star his ass. But no, I don't think it. I don't think Trey Lance is much of a threat. He got some draft pedigree, but as far as on the field and playing, we haven't really
Is
seen
he
much of him yet.
is he good? I have no idea.
We
Like
don't know. We don't know
What
anything
did he
about
play?
him.
3 years and played 12 games in the last 3 years or something like that, he said.
yeah,
Yeah,
like I
they
have
really
no idea.
drafting these guys on potential these days. I saw that stat on that kid from, like I said, Anthony Richardson. 13 starts in
Since high
college.
school. No,
Yeah,
since high
yeah,
school.
16 since high school, 13 in college. Like you started 3 games in high school and you go to Florida. Like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
Now he's
wow. Like,
starting in the NFL. Like this. It's
yeah,
crazy.
that's it.
A lot of
It
GMs
ta-
putting their jobs on the line with these draft picks, man.
it tells you that to me that tells you that they must be dumbing down the playbook for quarterbacks, making it less complicated for them. You know, because if the transition from is you if the transit if it's not much of a transition, like they always just back in the 80s, 90s when we watched football, they always said the college playbook and the pro game is different. And now you're seeing these
Mm-hmm.
offensive coordinators moving from college to pro and it being either the quarterback coach. The game is getting this game is simplified.
was about to say
Like,
they're gonna be running a high school playbook over there. There's gonna be one read and run. That's what it's gonna be for Anthony
that's
Richardson.
what it. Yeah, so they wouldn't allow that back in the foot. They, in the football of the 90s and the 80s, they wanted you to play quarterback. But the game is changing. This happens in all leagues. NBA is no different. So
All right. Other things out there, Josh Jacobs, he signed back with the Raiders, a $12 million deal. So he's back for 1 year. I don't know if they'll work out a long-term deal next year. So fantasy managers are happy with that. Josh Jacobs is back. What else happened out there? A lot of trades out there. A bunch of kickers got moved around. But something I know this guy's been hurt. But I'm hearing that little whispers that he's a little upset about not having a long-term deal yet. And that's Cool Joe Burrow. Just returned to practice after his calf injury, but I'm hearing little rumblings like he's, like, hey, before the season starts, he wants his deal. What do you guys think?
You better pay that man. You better pay that man before the season starts. One thing you don't want is an unhappy quarterback. Not at his caliber. Like, ain't no way.
I think Herbert, is the highest paid now since he's the last one to get the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Burrow already been to the Super Bowl. Herbert hasn't. So where is Joe Burrow's contract come in compared to, Herbert and, the rest of the guys, Hurts, Lamar Jackson?
You know how quarterback market is. You're the highest paid every time. New person, the highest paid. I mean, unless you trash, but other than that,
You think he would? Joe Burrow, he's going to get his money. Would you take a pay cut and maybe try to keep like T. Higgins around for next year? Because T. Higgins do a big payday as well, and Jamar Chase. They're both going to be coming up.
man, I don't know. Me personally, I'm not taking a pay cut. No, if I'm the quarterback and I'm the reason why the team is going to the Super Bowl, hell no, I'm not taking a pay cut. Pay me. I'm trying to be the highest paid player in the NFL too. Like,
what about you, Still? Would you sacrifice your pay?
That
for
shit
your team's success.
Once you get to a certain amount, that shit, like, they would have to put it in the contract that I'm taking a short. They would have to put in the contract that I'm taking a short because they're paying T. Higgins or Jamar Chase. That would have to be language in the contract. Because if I take a short and you don't pay him, and you do some shit, that's when it's a problem. But I'll take a short to keep the team around. Like, I don't have to be highest paid. I want to win. And get paper. Because at the same, you might be, it might be 8 million or something like that, 10 million cut. Shave off a couple million every year, or roll that up as a bonus. Or roll it up as a bonus.
They restructure deals, and give them bonuses,
Yeah.
I was about to ask how much of a cut you talking here, because Herbert's they got him at 52.5 a year, the annual salary. 52.5 million, and he got 218 guaranteed.
You get 48 a year and 209 guaranteed or something.
No. Like, I'm not. That puts you all the way down. What's that?
What's Mahomes? Mahomes is like, his numbers, I feel like I heard he's like 10th highest paid annually or something.
I think he's 8th. They got him at 45 million a year. And he got 63 million guaranteed.
And he got his bread invested with.
I mean, Patty got 63 guaranteed.
His is a 10-year deal though. Everybody else is 5.
Yeah, he got 63 guaranteed, but I feel like he's gonna play them. He's gonna get through 10 years. Like, I mean, but barring injury, you never know what can happen though. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Patty might need to go back to the table and restructure.
Yeah, you're gonna need some bonus money. I know they gave him ownership to the like some type of ownership to the Royals, didn't they? Like they got him tied in with the town. Like I know I heard that.
I ain't got nothing to do with the Chiefs though. I don't know if they got the same ownership group.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's the same, but I know when I heard that deal, it was invested in the Royals too. He got some ownership with them.
I feel like he might have bought that on his own or something. I don't know, but I believe you. I don't know. So what else? You guys been following Hard Knocks?
Not at all.
Man,
I feel like it's been pretty bad this year. Like,
yeah. Once they didn't have any storylines for me, I
yeah,
checked
they
out.
used to like follow like the rookies, and you like hoping like this rookie makes a team and stuff like that. Now it's like all Aaron Rodgers. It's just like
That's exactly what it is. Like
lobbing off Aaron Rodgers. And it's like,
they barely even show Robert Saleh on there. Like,
yeah. And they show him, he dick eating about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's it.
Big guy's gonna play this week. Like what? Like
the big guys, like it's Varsity and JV.
Nah, I'm cool in the slob knobbing, man. I'm cool.
This relationship, I know it's the NFL, but I feel like you can't have those dynamics with a team. I know it's you can't. It's like I know he's Aaron Rodgers, but like it's like you putting him on a pedestal. Like
I mean, that's what happens when you got head coaches the same age or younger than the fucking quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's on the defensive side of the ball, so anything, and he's had bad quarterback play. Aaron Rodgers is a godsend to him, and he ain't even got to worry about offense now. Like now, he could get in his bag and focus on defense, even though he's the head coach.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, partial head coach. They also made Rodgers the head coach too, because he brought his whole Green Bay squad with him up there.
Yeah. 2 wide receivers, offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Yeah,
they rolled out the red carpet for him.
Speaking of the Jets, Breece Hall is back in camp practicing. Say he's still a little scared to make any big cuts, but like he still got his speed. Dalvin Cook, I think he just had his first practice with the team. He's still coming off the shoulder injury. But what do you think the splits are going to be for Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook? Are you guys worried if you're like a Breece Hall owner or a Dalvin Cook owner? Like, what do you think? Is it going to be more of a 50-50, or do you think it's going to be, Breece's team and, Dalvin come in and spell him?
Go ahead, Steve. You the Breece Hall owner in our league. What's your thoughts here?
Honestly, man, I think Breece Hall gonna start off on a pup. I think they're gonna take it easy on him. And Dalvin Cook is gonna have the bulk of the carries.
I don't think they're gonna put him. I don't mean to cut you off because they just did the 53-man roster, so it would have been beneficial if they put him on the pup 4 and have that roster spot.
That's true. That's true.
Like gold.
That's
you're gonna start off.
That's true. So maybe they don't start off on a pup, but I don't think it's gonna be 50-50 going out the gate. I think it's gonna be mostly Dalvin. Then they're gonna work Breece in, and then as the season goes on, and may the best back win. Like it's gonna get 50-50, but if Breece Hall gets stronger, I think that's his job to lose.
Who's the better back right now? Who do you guys think?
Breece? What? What the? I 100% think Breece.
Yeah.
Are you talking about health wise? Like, I mean, in his current situation?
Cook, did he have a bad year last year? I mean, his numbers might have slouched a little bit, but
he went down a bit. But
that was terrible. Dalvin Cook's a beast. I ain't seen him slide yet. They said he lost. I've read reports that he's lost explosion, but I haven't really. His numbers still seem similar to his. He got 4 Pro Bowls. I mean, not that Pro Bowls mean everything, but he be balling. He's always been a top 10 fantasy running back until this year when Like, it was even a surprise that Minnesota didn't re-sign him. Like, it was like, what?
All right, so if you're an owner out there about the draft and you see Brees Hall in the 5th, or you could wait and get Dalvin in, let's say, the 7th or 8th, which one are you guys doing?
Depends what I'm. It depends what I'm starting off with. Like, what do I have?
You got one running back. You know, you got, let's say, you got Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
You got him in the 3rd round. I need another back. What are you guys doing?
I got to start off with Dalvin. Like, I think, me personally, I think Dalvin's going to start off with like a 70-30 backfield share. Like, I think he's going to get 70% of the carries starting off. They'll work Brees in slow. Like, put him in situations where he's not going to take like crazy damage. Like, I don't know how much goal line action they're going to give. Like, I think most of that's going to be Dalvin in the beginning. Let his knee get stronger, make him feel more comfortable. Yeah. Like, they'll probably have him on the other side. Like, when they start at the 20 from the opposite side or whatever, they'll probably throw Brees in for a couple carries there. So, but
I mean, Brees is still young, you know, and Aaron Rodgers, like, he wants a vet out there that knows what the fuck they're doing. You know what I mean? So
then it's gonna be Dalvin's job. Then, you know, the head coach say so. It's got to go to him.
Yeah. Right.
But nah, like, Brees, talent wise, is definitely gonna take over the backfield before the end of the season. But like, if I was drafting, like, say I started off and I felt comfortable, like, I'm not comfortable with Jahmyr Gibbs as my RB1. Me personally, like, I don't have that much faith in the Lions. I think David Montgomery is gonna get more of the carries than Jahmyr Gibbs. But if I have a comfortable RB1 and I'm shooting like more for upside and I think I can coast until the end of the season, I'll go Brees. If I'm looking for an early start, like a hot start, I'm going Dalvin. Even though the better value is Dalvin later on, just because Brees is going before him.
Any thoughts, Sue?
Yeah, I agree.
That's all you got for me? I agree.
No, I think Arthur already spoke on this topic. I ain't want to I think Brees going to take over. I think he's going to get stronger as the season goes along. And it'll be either more of a 50-50. You never know if Dalvin could go down with that shoulder again. But how do you think Garrett Wilson's draft position was
inflated
or adequate? Yeah.
I think Hard Knocks definitely inflated it, but at the same time, I feel like kid is hella talented as well. So, like, it's like splitting hairs. It's like, would he go like pick 11 or would he go pick 13? Like, is it really that big of a difference? You know, so.
You don't think that Aaron Rodgers? I know Aaron Rodgers with a number one receiver. I understand that's probably why he got inflated, but you don't think Lazard or Kyle is his picks, and he may force feed them the ball?
I'm not drafting Allen Lazard or Randall Cobb at all. It's Garrett Wilson or bust. Pause. That's it.
He's overvalued to me. Like, I feel like he can't. I don't know how he outperforms his draft position.
I mean,
like, he's drafted at his ceiling to me right now. Like, I think he has to have an amazing season in order to live up to his draft position currently.
Yeah. Think he could finish top 5 wide receiver rankings? That's where he has to finish for his draft being drafted. I think he can get there. So
that's where he's being drafted at.
I'm comfortable taking, Garrett Wilson late first round, early second. Maybe early second. I don't know.
Early second, first round.
Early second round. All right, you guys ready? Anything else?
Sheesh.
I want to jump into our draft, give the people a little insight of how our home league draft went. The league.
Let's do it.
Let's give them a couple rounds, and then tap back into football, maybe. Then we don't want to bore them too much, do we?
I don't think they get bored with a strategy advice there.
All right, cool.
Let's jump into it. All right, here we are. So this is our home league draft, the league. This is our 11th year. So the commish still get the number 2 pick. Right behind him was T.O., the number 3 pick. Then when you have a bad year the year before, you pick early. You see me?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was a champion runner-up. I picked 11th.
Remove that champion word there.
I gotta phrase it. Champion runner-up.
I was the first loser. I was the first loser last year.
First loser last year.
There you go.
So I picked 11th. This is a keeper league, so a lot of picks are kind of wonky. You're gonna be like, how did this guy get Jamar Chase in the 6th round? This is a keeper league, so wherever he was drafted that year before, that's the round you're gonna lose unless they were a free agent or drafted past the 8th round.
Yeah.
Then you lose the 8th round pick. So
and it's a 2-year keeper rule.
So 2-year keeper. So we'll go through it. First round went Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb. Christian McCaffrey, the number 2. Still, you were on the clock. I feel like we all knew who was going to go number 1. So I feel like, what was your thought process with that next pick still?
I mean, every mock, it was Nick Chubb. Then I was like, you know what? Let me see how it shakes if I get Reek and JJ. I was thinking about that.
That would have been scary. I ain't gonna lie.
That was a scary terror. But at the end of the day, man, I couldn't pull the trigger, man. I was supposed to get Nick Chubb last year. I flaked, got Alvin Kamara, and you see what happened. Started out the gates a little much slower than I wanted to, and wound up trading Kamara. So I went with the sure thing at running back to get some balance get some early round balance. So I went with Chubby.
Chubb. All right, Nick Chubb with number 2. T.O., you were right after him. Is this an easy selection for you?
Very, very easy selection for me. Well, I can't say easy. Usually I'm a running back guy. Like usually I go running backs heavy early, but I've noticed like that strategy worked maybe 3 years ago. I mean, 3-4 years ago, that was the perfect strategy. Now the league is shifting a little bit more. And last year, I had a horrible wide receiver core over there, and I wanted to make sure I didn't relive that experience because it was nothing worse than counting on Cortland Sutton and DJ Moore to give you some production over there. So yeah, I needed a guy that's going to explode, and I drafted Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, that with those 2 wide receivers last year, you'll definitely be picking top 3.
Dead in the water. Dead in the water.
Hell yeah.
At the Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs. Was he keeper?
No.
Bijan Robinson, A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Derrick Henry, C.D. Lamb, Austin Eckler was a keeper at 10. Travis Kelce was a keeper at 11. And
Your
in
keeper,
the first round,
keeper at 11.
My keeper at 11 was Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Finished the first.
Any surprises in that first round? Anybody go ahead of somebody that you thought would have been picked first or anything like that? I feel like Bijan went pretty early for me.
I mean, not to me. Bijan is ranked super high. That's about where he's going. I think he's average draft in 5th. So I felt like first round was chalk pretty much. Except Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is a little higher than what we usually see. He's been going late second in most of my mocks and stuff that I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I was thinking. I thought our league mate James would have went more with, Derrick Henry, more of a sure thing than take the risk on a rookie Bijan. I don't know what's going to happen with Bijan. I haven't been hearing too much about him in camp. As I heard, he was, buried on the depth chart at, third string running back. I mean, I know he's going to play, but I don't know. I feel like Tyler Algier had 1,000 yards last year. They're going to still want to get him some carries. But
he will get some. He will get some carries, yes. But Bijan is the most talented dude in the building out there, like hands down. I think it's like Brees Hall last year with what was his name, Michael Robinson or Michael Carter.
Carter.
Yeah. Michael Carter had a big year before. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Talent's going to win out at that position.
Yeah, for sure. All right, second round went Jalen Hurts, Devontae Adams, Patrick Mahomes.
What made you draft Devontae?
Yeah, that's all right. Let's stop there. All right, Jalen Hurts. Then my pick was up. I picked picking 11th in the second round. Picked Devontae. I mean, he's the best available. Did I want him? No. But then it was at the same time I felt like he was one of those guys like it's hard to pass up, because after that, it's a teardrop. There weren't really running backs that, I wanted, that early.
You ain't like Jacobs? Jacobs or Mixon?
I fucking hate Mixon.
Jacobs.
I don't know. Did Jacobs sign yet? I'm not sure if Jacobs had signed before then.
Jacobs signed on Saturday. Our draft is Sunday.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Josh Jacobs. He had a great year last year, but to me, he's still like I gotta see it first. I can't just.
So let me ask the question: why didn't you go with the other Devontae from your hometown?
Because he's a number 2 receiver. Like I'm not gonna pick a number 2 receiver when there's a number 1 guy out there still.
Okay.
That's still ranked high. It's still Devontae fucking Adams. Like that's why I like.
Yeah.
I'm not upset about it, but it's not. I would have rather had Amon-Ra St. Brown or CeeDee Lamb or Garrett Wilson. Like in all my mocks, like I was getting like AJ Brown. Like Diggs fell to me one time. Amon-Ra, Derrick Henry, like people like that. Like I was thrown off. Let's say that.
I thought you were going with the stack. I thought you were going to draft Patty after Hurts went. But
I was surprised by your keeper altogether, buddy.
Yeah, I screwed that up. I'm not gonna lie, I screwed that up for the value. For being the keeper league, like I shouldn't have kept Kelsey at 11.
He probably would have fell right back to you.
Nah, I don't think he would have fell back to me. But it's just like me losing my first round pick for him. It was at one point like Beasley had like 4. I think I was telling Tio this. Beasley had like 4 top like 15 players on his team. And only had 2 people. You know what I mean? On my roster because how the draft went. And it's like I probably could have kept. I drafted Patty in the 5th. I should have kept him for a 5th rounder.
Yeah.
Or Amon-Ra. I think I got him like 6th or 7th. I had a lot of good draft picks from the year before, but
yeah, I thought you was one of those guys at value. I was really shocked that you went Kelsey. I thought at least you would get Kelsey and Mark Andrews. If I know how you do tight ends.
Yeah, no, I actually wanted Waller. I was going to target him like the 5th round, but he went early. I know Tweet kind of snaked me.
He snaked me.
All of us. Waller was a target for everybody here.
Yeah.
I was definitely going 5th every month, 4th, 5th.
Yeah, I want him 5th, but I'll tell you guys where I really screwed up later on as soon as we get there. So
All right.
after Devontae, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Mixon went. Somebody tell Sean about Joe Mixon. He had him last year though. But Josh Jacobs, Mark Andrews, Debo Samuels, Chris Olave, Devontae Smith, T.O. your keeper, Saquon Barkley, still your keeper, Justin Jefferson, and Jalen Waddle. Any surprises in that second round?
Debo
Debo did go pretty early. I had him going like the fourth round. That might have been a reach to get him in the second. I think I definitely would have preferred like Olave or Waddle or Devontae over Debo. I don't know. I don't trust Brock Purdy out there. I think they're more of a run team, pass if they had to, you know.
Plus, they got McCaffrey, so like Debo's rushing, like his rushing upside is not there anymore. So
Yeah, that's true.
Y'all know how bad I wanted Beasley to take a running back at the back end with one of those picks instead of Waddle. Because I was like, fuck it, if I ain't. That was the compromise I made. I won't get Hill. I'll get some balance at running back, but I'll get Waddle, part of that offense that's just as explosive. You know, and third, I was hoping to get him in the third, but he beat me to him, and I was like, fuck. Or fudge, excuse me, fudge. And so I wound up going with ATN. You know, I trust Doug Peterson. There's something about Doug Peterson that I trust. I didn't trust him as a quarterback, even though that's not my team, never was my team. But I remember he was trash as a quarterback, but I trust him as a coach.
They make the best coaches. The trash players make the best coaches.
For real.
That's true.
Players are non-players. Look at Belichick. He just cheat.
So Etienne was on your draft board. You were ready to pick him, or you just came up like he was available during your pick, or what?
First off, we got to talk about Steele. I mean, taking 25 minutes to.
I was gonna get there.
Make the selection.
I'm just like, did you know you were gonna take him, or because you took fucking 40 minutes to pick him? So you gave everybody dirty looks, like, you made the steal of the draft.
He wasn't the steal. He was not the steal of the draft, but it was some deliberation all through the mocks. All through the mocks in my mind, I'm like, I'm not messing with Najee Harris. I'm not messing with him. Like, I'm like, I don't want to use hate. I do. I am going to use it. I fucking hate Matt Canada's offense in Pittsburgh. And I don't think that he's getting the best out of Najee. So all summer, I'm like, man, I'm taking Travis over him all summer. But when it got to the draft, it was hard. It was tough, man.
You've been thinking about this all summer, and you had to wait 20 minutes to make a pick.
It's still my boys, man. It's still my boys, Tommy. It's still my boys.
Oh man!
But it took a lot out of me, but I finally made the pick.
All right.
And a dirty look because I thought everything in my mock was Travis or Najee, and I thought Thirst picking right after me, he was going to get Najee, and then maybe we could do some business later on in the season.
Najee was never on my draft board. I hate Najee.
Nor mine. I hate him too. But after Travis, T.O., you were on the clock. What was your decision-making process?
So, like I said earlier, I was scarred from last season. I knew I had to go receiver again, especially with receivers coming off the board as crazy as they do this year. So I went with my man with the upside. I think he had a down season last year on touchdowns, and I think he steps it back up. My man DK Metcalf.
What's going on with this league and wide receivers? I feel like I started a trend.
It's not. It's just fantasy itself. Wide receiver.
No. Our league used to be a heavy running back league.
Every league used to be a heavy running
back league. I feel like this year, that's what part of what screwed me up. because I'm still thinking, everybody's gonna go heavy running back, and it kind of turned on me.
Yeah,
But
but
I
this
was still in my mind still drafting wide receivers when I
But
should have been drafting running backs.
this year you got 3 wide receivers in the top 5 picks. Like it used to be all running back. You never seen a number 1 overall wide receiver, except maybe like once, I think, in like the last 10 years.
Megatron was he
Yeah,
going number 1?
I think he might have been the one that went number 1 overall before. But other than that, it's always a running back.
Yeah.
man, I've tried the wide receiver strategy and failed. It feel like I always fail miserably. I've tried that multiple times. I was in a Yahoo league. I think one time with UTO. I had Megatron. I think I had Roddy White. I had somebody else, another top tier wide receiver. I didn't try it in this league last year. Like I see the value. I see some value in it, but I went with a different strategy this year. I figured everybody would be doing that. I wouldn't have your RB.
Man, to me, you and Tommy was doing the polar opposite strategies over there. Like every
We
time
were.
you went to the board, you had a running back. Every time Tommy went to the board, he had a receiver. I was like, okay, y'all must be planning to trade with each other. I can't.
I mean, we should. I mean, but we got motherfucking
but
Jerry Colangelo over there.
man,
Mitch Kupchak don't make no change.
I'm Jerry West, man.
Take my firstborn.
I'm Jerry West of the Lakers, and you Jerry West of the Memphis Grizzlies. Help me out. Send the players back home.
Oh man. But after T.O. took Metcalf, T. Higgins went, Jahmyr Gibbs, Ramondre Stevenson, Aaron Jones, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Damian Pierce. Then I was on the clock. Third pick.
What was going through your mind?
I got Adams already. I got Kelsey. I'm still thinking wide receiver.
So you saw Kenny Walker out there. You saw Jonathan Taylor out there. You saw Najee out there.
Yeah, I hate Najee, so that was never going to happen.
All right, so you saw those other names. Kenny Walker, who balled for you last year. I guess you couldn't pull the trigger because you didn't like the shift in his value, right?
Yeah, at that end, they drafted another running back, so I feel like they're going to be taking a lot of his carries away. He's I think he's coming off like a groin injury. So, like, those soft tissue injuries, like, I don't like messing with it because they tend to pop back up.
Yeah.
But then, my draft board was telling me to take Amari Cooper. I'm like, I like Calvin Ridley. Like, I really like Calvin Ridley this year. He was off last year because of the gambling.
He was off the last year.
That was mental health. Mental health, wasn't it?
No,
scares.
Yeah.
Well, a year and a half, right?
He's been out.
He played a couple of games, and then he's just like,
oh yeah, it was like
I got to step away.
Yeah.
He did, dog.
Yeah, he did the MJ when he got caught gambling.
He did the right thing.
Game. Huh?
He did the right thing and came home to us. I'm not mad at that. That was a good move.
Yeah, but I feel like, before all this, when he was in Atlanta, like when he was Calvin Ridley, like he was top 5 wide receiver.
I gotta push back on you a bit.
What you got?
So if we being honest about Calvin Ridley, like he had a great year as rookie year, right? With the last of Julio, right? His next year wasn't so hot, if I'm not mistaken. Can y'all pull up the stats for me? Make sure I'm right.
The stats.
Next year wasn't as great as his rookie year. Then the next year was the mental health year. Then he got suspended. This is year 5. In a crowded Jacksonville environment, you got Christian Kirk, you got Zay Jones as reemerged after looking like a bust in Buffalo, like in Oakland. Like how, like he looks like the most talented wide receiver out there, but he really had one good year with Julio, with the last good of Julio Jones.
Yeah, all right. Let's say his rookie year is 2018. He had 64 receptions for 821 yards, 10 touchdowns.
I got the years.
After that, he had 63 catches for 866 and 7 touchdowns in 2019. In 2020, that's when he had his big year. He had 90 receptions for 1,374 yards and 9 touchdowns. And then 2021, that's when he played, he only
That was the mental health year.
that was the mental health year. He only had 31 receptions and 2 touchdowns. At the same time, he had, Matt Ryan was
on his way down.
Yeah,
Right.
he was on his way down. So, but Matt Ryan was still like okay, 90 receptions, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. Like, I'll take that third round if I can get that production or close to it. But it's a young stud quarterback,
You wasn't supposed to pull up the stats like that, bro. I'm trying to lower his value on this division, so I can get a
he's
trade.
not going nowhere.
That was a personal move right there.
Gotta do what you gotta do, TL. Motherfucker. This boy done fact check me on site.
Oh man. So yeah, I decided between him and Kyle Ridley and Amari Cooper. So I'm like, should I take Amari Cooper first or Kyle Ridley? I feel like if I took Amari Cooper, then Kyle Ridley might have got picked. So I went Ridley first. Then Kenneth Walker went, Jonathan Taylor. Then I was back on the clock.
So here's where I got one more question for you, Tommy.
Yeah.
All right. So usually, like in our history of the league, we normally go running back heavy. With this draft, you seen the running backs weren't going so heavy, and like you didn't want to switch your approach up because like the wide receiver, like the 0 RB, usually only works if the running backs are going heavy. Then you get most of the receivers, like
You
most
get
of the top
premium.
receivers that are left over.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like how my draft board was looking. It's like it was a big tear drop off. I feel like from the last running backs were picked that I liked was like I like Kenneth Walker, I like Aaron Jones, and I like Ramondre. But after that, there's players. Let me see who went after that. Like Miles Sanders,
I'm looking.
he could be good. Potential. I kind of wanted to stay away from that because they got a rookie quarterback. And they rookie quarterbacks pair with the running back. The running back doesn't tend to do too well. James Conner. The Cardinals going to be getting blown out all season. They're going to be throwing the ball. So I don't know how well he'll do.
To him,
Brees Hall coming off the injury. I looked at him. I'm still like with them just signing Dalvin Cook. I'm like, I don't know. Madison, I feel like I was okay with waiting to see if Madison came back to me. Alvin Kamara, J.K. Dobbins. I think he was keeper. Was he a keeper?
he was a
Yeah,
keeper.
keeper.
That was a gift from Bird. That was a gift from Bird to pick Almet.
Yeah, so it's like, it's like, why not take this another number one wide receiver that, with adding that second flex spot, if I could throw another number one guy out there, just, hey, I'm going to do it.
I feel you. I understand.
Yeah, so
You want me to pick up? Well, you got it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So up next, we had, after the Amari Cooper pick, we had Darren Waller, followed by Najee Harris, Jerry Jeudy. Josh Allen got picked in the 6th pick of the 4th round. DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Ayuk, Joe Burrow, Miles Sanders, James Conner is who I selected in the 4th round, followed by Cooper Kupp to end the 4th round. And with the James Conner pick, I felt like I was a little early with that, but
yeah, I think so.
But at the same time, that was one of the people I was targeting. And
why?
Because I feel like the Cardinals going to be ass this year, and he's a every down back. So yeah, I understand they may be losing in a lot of games and go away from the run, but he's also a pass catcher running back. So if it's some prevent defense, they're not gonna be locked and loaded on. He gonna get some underneath passes, So I'm all in on James Conner this year.
just looking at your squad, like you got a solid group, but a lot of them you got an injury-prone kind of squad. Nick Chubb, he's been solid the last couple of years, but before that, he had a tendency to get banged up. ETN got pretty banged up last year. James Conner, he's always
banged up.
banged up. Brees Hall, he's coming off the injury. Dave Montgomery, I think, got hurt last year. Does that have you nervous at all? I mean, I guess not because your team is so deep with running backs. So
That's why I think I like my running back situation. Like David Montgomery, like I feel like he's in a good position because he has a rookie running back that he's going to have to show ropes. And a lot of times rookie running backs have a lot of talent, but they don't know how to pass block. So that's why they don't get on the field. Dave Montgomery is a dual threat back, and he's the bigger back in that situation. So he's gonna get the goal line work on a run heavy Detroit Lions.
Yeah, what that picture say? I sent got the feet of Saquon, the vision of Barry Sanders or something.
You gotta pull that shit up. You gotta pull that joint up.
The scouting report.
Y'all get the fuck out of here.
I woke up. I was knocked. I woke up in the middle of the night like these fuckers.
I saw that. I'm like, what? This bull.
But yeah, with Brees Hall, I think I reached with Brees Hall. I should have went Madison. I don't know what.
I said for like 5th round, fine Brees Hall.
Nah, Madison right now. I probably should have went him because he's playing. You know what I mean? That takes him out of the injury prone thing. But at the same time, Brees Hall is a heck of a talent. I can see me keeping him, and I really think he's going to pick it up at the end of the year when Connor starts to fall off. Because normally Connor starts good, and Brees,
yeah,
he gets banged up. Hopefully by that time, Brees Hall can fill in for him and as a starter. So that's what I was thinking. And really, I didn't like the wide receivers. Like at that point, like I don't really like Mike Evans. Like I don't like Baker Mayfield throwing a deep ball. Drake London. No, he was already gone.
Yeah, I mean,
not like Tyler Lockett was probably the receiver I thought I missed out on from that 5th through 7th round. You know what I mean? That's the only receiver I felt like I missed out on.
I don't know, man. I feel like your team is going to be really nice, or they're going to have some rough weeks. I feel like there's some solid run backs, but then I feel like none of your receivers, their quarterbacks can throw. Like none of them.
Hey man,
you got Kirk and Jefferson. Like Baker,
buddy.
What's his name? Anthony Richardson.
I mean, I feel like he got the receiver that is going to be productive in Tampa Bay with Godwin. Like Baker's not going to be able to throw deep balls, but Godwin runs to be 5 to 10 yards off the line. So
I guess he's going to get those Jarvis Landry routes that he was getting out in Cleveland.
Now Pittman, I'm out on.
Yeah, Pittman
was a different, and I just at that time it wasn't. I'm not banking on that man. I probably should have hurt that with that pick, but
yeah. Let's just run through our teams.
Yeah,
through the whole thing.
I'll be all crazy and stuff.
All right, Chill. Let's jump back to you. So you start out with Tyreek Hill, keeper Saquon. You got to DK Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
In 4th round, Miles Sanders, Justin Fields. Talk us through from like Miles Sanders on, like what you were thinking, how the draft was going.
With like Miles Sanders, I knew I needed another running back that was going to be at least like productive. Miles Sanders is always productive. Now he's a little banged up. He's also playing with a rookie quarterback, which is not good for running backs. It wasn't my favorite choice, but he was the best option out of what was left there. Like I was scared of everybody else, and I also wanted to get, like, I was looking at the schedules and I wanted a hot start, so he was the best option I picked there. I really was targeting Darren Waller in this round. That's who I was banking on coming down, but he got drafted early, so figured I had to keep it balanced like I usually do. 5th round, I said my name is Uncle Upside. Let's shoot for it. Let's see what you got over here. So I went with the quarterback that I know he had a couple games last season that blew the roof off there. He had 50 yards rushing, like back-to-back weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
So I went with Justin Fields.
That's crazy. I didn't take him as a rushing quarterback coming out of college. Like, I thought he was more like a passing QB, like, who was accurate and could throw down the field, but I didn't know he could run like this. That's a good pick. 5th round.
Yep. Took him 5th round. Then James Cook. I like James Cook. I think Buffalo's trying to actually keep Josh Allen healthy, and I think they're gonna try and stop him from running so much himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's been wearing down a little bit these last couple of years.
The elbow.
Yeah. Like I feel like they're gonna actually try and get the running back the ball some, and the rest of the talent behind them is nothing to me. So went with James Cook in the 6th. Then I had I went with Hollywood, man. I figured.
Yeah. Look, in the off season during the summer, I'm like, I was actually like trying to target Hollywood. I'm like, all right, well, Kyler. I'm thinking Kyler going. I forgot, what else? What I was hearing was like Kyler was ramping up his recovery. He might be able to play week 1. Now we know Kyler's going to be out for at least the first 4 weeks. They cut the backup Colt McCoy.
Yeah, that happened the day after I drafted Hollywood. Like,
Day after.
They got Josh Dobbs. You good, baby?
Got Josh Dobbs. Now it's like,
nah, that's bad.
Baby.
That's bad money, but hopefully they'll be getting blown out so much he'll be able to garbage time me some production over there.
Listen, man, the Cardinals going to shock y'all. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers like AAU team.
The Cardinals, might as well get Sam Hinkie and put the tank right on their logo. Like they are trying to sink that ship as best they can.
For who? For the quarterback, Caleb Williams?
Yeah.
But they just paid Kyler last year.
Clearly, they don't care. They just traded Isaiah Simmons for a 7th rounder. They cut their presumptive starting quarterback. Like you know what time.
I don't know. See, listen. First of all, they got our dumbass old defensive coordinator from the Eagles, Jonathan Gannon, who was too hype about that job he was getting offered to focus on the fucking Super Bowl. So I'm still pissed at him.
Oh, yeah.
But you try to convert, linebacker to fucking safety. Like, you fucking. Then they trade him for a 7th round pick. Like, good luck. He's gonna be fired in 2 years.
Yeah, they about to clean the whole house over there in Arizona
Again.
Yeah, it's a clown show going on over there.
Yeah, but I like the James Cook pick. Hollywood Brown.
Somebody got
Gabe Davis was out there. I probably would have went Gabe Davis. I don't know. I probably would with Jahan Dotson. I would 6, 7.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about any of the. I just wanted a number 1, so I said he's out there.
All right. So Thirst went. I'm still going the round way.
Yeah.
So
go through the teams. You got to
go to yours or go to Tommy's. My bad.
Oh yeah. So keep picking back up with the Dreamer. So your last pick that we saw was Calvin Ridley and Amari Cooper. In the 5th round, you went 5th through 7th rounds, you went 3 more receivers: Christian Watson, Terry Mack, and Jahan Dotson. You went back to back on Redskins receivers. Like I know you was going wide receiver heavy and try to ones.
This was not part of the plan. How it kind of like snowballed into hell. It started like you got a list of sleepers and then you end up getting all your sleepers and you're like, what the fuck? And they're all wide receivers. But But like Christian Watson was not on my board at all. But like I always miss out on like the home run threats, like the Tyreek Hills and the Sean Jacksons of the past. It's like in our league, we got like the long touchdown bonus, and he's a speedster out there in Green Bay. So I'm like, do I really want to do it? No, but I feel like I couldn't pass him up. So pick Christian Watson there in the fifth.
All right, cool.
That's when I was hoping Waller was going to be there, but I got him.
This is what I don't understand. You had Terry Mack. You took Terry Mack in the 6th round turn because you basically had Christian Watson. It was one pick because Jamar Chase was Dallas Goedert was picking between that.
Yeah.
You still had Brian Robinson. Excuse me, Brian.
I don't like him.
All right, okay. Yeah. Then you had Javonte Williams out there.
I should have took Javonte.
Yeah, James Cook, David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift, Cam Akers, Isaiah Pacheco, and Dalvin Cook. Rashad, like you had running backs available. I'm not understanding like what was thinking.
So my whole thinking, like I said, like I had sleepers on my board that I wanted. Like I knew I wanted to get. So like from the 5th round on, I knew I wanted to get Jahan Dotson. I really think he's gonna have a big year, and he's one of those explosive down the field players.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's the number 2 on the team. So I'm like, damn, I can't get him yet. But the number 1 is still out there. So I'm like, all right, let me just take Terry McLaurin. So I took him. I mean, Terry McLaurin's still nice. You get you 1,000 yards every year, even with trash quarterbacks. So then I took Terry McLaurin, went through the whole draft, was pissed off. I'm like, oh man, nobody took Jahan Dotson. Like, damn, if I don't get him now, he's not gonna last another round. I still need a running back. So I'm like, so I take Khalil Herbert now, then try to get Dotson. I'm like, damn, let me just get Dotson. Got Dotson right after I took McLaurin. And after that, I took Khalil Herbert, my first running back in the 8th round.
So how you feel pretty strong about Herbert? You think he's the back to have in Chicago, even though that depth chart is loaded?
Yeah, I feel like he's the back to have out there. He's a speedster. He got the breakaway speed. He's probably not going to get, it's going to be a timeshare. But he's the best back out there. Who else do they have? The guy from Carolina. Can't think of his name.
He's a problem.
Deontay.
Foreman?
We had last year. Deontay Foreman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in the league a while. I feel like that's Herbert's team. You saw some splashes from him last year. But I mean, I picked McLaurin and Watson and Cooper, like, they're all like number 1 primary receivers, and I'm like, at least I'll be able to do is package them up, for a running back if I need it. So that was kind of like my strategy as well. Like, all right, take the best player available, and then like if you need a certain player, make a good enough trade to get who you need. So, but I gotta remember my league that a lot of people don't like to trade in this league. So,
speaking of, I'm gonna get to that point in a second. But after you made that pick of Herbert, T.O. with the 10th pick of the 8th round drafted his first tight end, Pat Fryermuth. Tony Pollard, Jordan Addison, Cortland Sutton, Jamal Williams, Justin Tucker, a kicker. Deontay Johnson all went before Fryermuth. T.O., was it anybody you were eyeing prior to Fryermuth at that point in that 8th round?
Yeah, my Pudge threw me off because once Waller was gone, I was gonna go Goddard. Pudge took Goddard before I could pick it. Then he came back like he had Chase as a keeper. Then the next round he took Evan Ingram, which was also one of my targets there. Like I was trying to get one of the higher end tight ends, like not necessarily top, but like top 6, something like that. So Pudge threw me off with the back-to-back tight ends, but I was gonna go with them in the 7th. I mean in the 8th, but yeah, got blocked there. Also had Jordan Addison on my board. Like he was one of my sleepers for this year that I liked a lot.
So are you confident with that Marquise Brown over Evan Ingram as it played out in the draft? Did you think that would be the decision you would have to make?
Yeah, like I always value receivers over tight ends.
I'm saying
at that point.
looking at your draft board now, is that one of those spots you think maybe I should have went with Evan and had Marquise later, or so you still good?
Nah, like I'm okay with it actually. Like I feel like Marquise Brown got a lot of garbage time potential over there. Like I see Allen Robinson back in 2017, 2016. Like those, I mean, he's not going to do nothing for the first 3 quarters. They go up about 14, 20 points, something like that. And then it's all garbage time action where he gets you those 8 catches, 90 yards, maybe a touchdown here and there. So I'm not mad at the build, actually. Like I like how it worked out. And I think Freiermuth got some upside over there. I'm hearing good things about your man, Kenny Pickett.
Oh, that's good.
At a certain point, I guess, like, are you guys like, all right, after the top 4, 5 tight ends go off the board, you guys just punting the position and picking somebody up late? Or are you guys still trying to target one of the mid-tier tight ends?
I'm targeting tight ends, but that's like starting. Like once I miss that first batch or that second batch, I'm targeting starting tight ends that have pretty good, decent quarterback or blatant rookie quarterbacks. You know, I like this year I didn't really target Njoku, but I know he has some TD upside with Cleveland in the red zone, so it'd be either him or Chubb.
Yeah, I like Njoku, but they gave him that hype last year, and he didn't really do too much. So I feel like he's got to do something this year.
He had a good like 4-game stretch in the middle of the season last year, but other than that, nah. And then I got Jake Ferguson over my last pick. I'm hoping Dak still has that connection with his tight end, just in general. You know, I don't think him and Schultz were bunkmates or anything like that. So I'm hoping he just like the tight end position as a safety valve. So
yeah, I mean that's another reason why I kept Kelsey, because like having Kelsey and Andrews in that tight end spot gives you such an advantage, man.
yeah, it's a major drop off.
Yeah, after that, it's like, he's giving you wide receiver production from that spot, and kind of like it gives you an advantage, definitely an advantage every week, at least at one position, But,
and one thing about Kelsey and the Chiefs, they always playing primetime games, so people be sweating bullets going against him. Like,
yeah.
not only is the one of the most from 1 to 3 is one of the biggest drop off in positions and points, but he playing that Sunday Night Football. You like, oh shit, I'm only up 30.
Yeah.
Like that lead don't feel comfortable.
No, not at all, man. But at the same time, I'm thinking like, when's the drop off going to happen? It always happens. Father Time is undefeated. Kelsey getting up there. He still looked good last year, but happens to the best of them. What's this, like year 9 or something for him?
He 34 or something, right?
Yeah. No, he's 33. Yeah.
33? Yeah. Just 10th years? 10th year in the league? Yep. It's coming. Yeah. Hopefully not this year.
But so I'm gonna get through the rest of y'all picks. So after Freiermuth was picked, I picked Pittman. I think that was one of my regrets of the draft. I probably should have went with Antonio Gibson. I was ironing down. I was like, I should go. I'm like, damn, I am super running back heavy. I'm like, let me get Pittman. Maybe Anthony. I don't really know much about Anthony Richardson, so I like maybe this motherfucker can throw. And maybe when he does throw, he threw to Pittman. So that's where I went with that. After that, Christian Kirk finished out the 8th round.
Shoot.
And then I went Elijah Mitchell started off the 9th. And then I went with my first quarterback with Tua. You know, hopefully if Tyreek and Waddle are going to have these crazy numbers, hopefully Tua is throwing on the ball. T.O., you drafted Gibson in that 9th round spot. What were you thinking?
I was looking at the board. I like Gibson this season. Like, I like his pass catching upside. Like, I feel like Brian Robinson is the first and second down guy, but Gibson got that in him and he can catch the ball. So at the 9th round, it was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah,
that's not bad in the 9th round.
Hell no.
But I know still your team is pretty running back heavy. T.O., your team is pretty balanced. I'm pretty wide receiver heavy. Like, is there any position like you guys are feeling a little uncomfortable about on your team, or do you feel like you guys are pretty solid all the way through?
Go ahead, T.O. I've been jumping in there lately.
I'm nervous about my running backs. A little nervous, but like I can live with it. It ain't terrible.
I think my wide receivers. I need a wide receiver acquisition, whether by free agent or trade. I got people available, but I probably could get away with it for some of it for the most part. But I need a wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean,
how about you?
Like, I'm wide receiver heavy. I'm banking on my receivers carrying me, and like I'm just hoping like my running backs don't kill me. You know what I mean? Like, give me something. like give me like they could both give me 10 points a week. I'll probably be happy with that. I got Khalil Herbert, my number 1. Number 2 is Jerick McKinnon. Like, so
shit,
not looking good over here. But if Jerick McKinnon can have the year he had last year, you know, being a like main focal receiving back in a high passing offense like Kansas City, you know, could come out, could be okay. Devon 18. I'm just banking on upside.
I got something good for you, man. Step into my office, man. We can talk
the deal section.
I don't like the tone in your voice that you got. You sound down. I don't like that with you, Tommy.
Why don't you let the people know your offer? You know, while we're on here.
I like the Tomas with the
let's hear a steal.
Bravado, you know, with the vigor. I don't like all the, you know.
Hey, you guys all see his team. Like, hey, come on.
We got
make a deal live here on the podcast.
Live pod deal. I like it.
What you want to do? I got briefs for you, man.
Tell me your offers. I'm in.
Give me briefs for Devontae, man. In a couple weeks. We ain't got to do it now.
You said briefs for Devontae?
Yeah, because you don't want to give up. You don't. McLaurin is not. No, I'm not saving you from your little watch.
You said briefs for Devontae.
Yeah, I really want Ridley. You say you love him, so I'll stay back.
So you went for Devontae?
No, I really want it for Ridley. He got one good year under his belt. We don't know what the fuck and he got a gambling problem. We don't know what he's gonna do. Still on his phone. We don't know if he's gonna relapse.
You mean towards ACL, PCL, UCL?
Listen, we had a friend. We had a
Pro Bowl running back with him.
Listen, we had a friend of ours. We'll call him Bob, right? He had a gambling problem. He used to drive over like 2 different states to go make a bet. You think that Bob's problem is exceeding Calvin Ridley's, and he had football to lose. You think Bob had NFL football to fucking lose? Ridley, let me take that risk from you, man. Like, that's all I'm saying.
We get over here. All right. Really not going anywhere.
See, you don't want to.
The price is right. Unless the price is right.
Listen, it's
a special AFC North player that can make the price right.
No, you're not getting us the job, man.
I mean, working package deal. Not gonna be just Ridley.
No way. No way, no how.
Ridley, watch this, y'all. A deal that nobody can refuse. Ridley and Khalil Herbert and Terry McLaurin. Ridley, Terry McLaurin, and Khalil Herbert for Nick Chubb, y'all.
ATO.
I heard.
You find a reject button on that bullshit?
I mean, it sounds pretty solid. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. What y'all think about that trade and why still is crazy for not accepting it. But let's wrap this up, y'all. Not gonna go through the whole draft and take all day, but still, you said you had your regrets, Michael Pittman. What about you, T.O.?
My regret was definitely Hollywood out of everybody on my team. Hollywood, but I don't know. Like I gotta see what they actually come out there and do. Like what I'm thinking is gonna happen, if it plays out the way I hope, it should be fine for a 7th rounder. I didn't like Miles Sanders' pick, but I didn't really have a choice. But yeah, that's it. That's my 2 biggest for me that I second guess all the time.
So do you think your picks were a problem? Those picks, or more of your strategy was the problem?
I think it was just like what I was left around. I don't like.
Out of draft,
I was going with guys that could give me, like, I'm looking for big plays. Like, it doesn't matter to me to go. Just making it to the playoffs ain't really enough. Like, I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win the whole thing. So I'm looking for guys that can boom on my squad, and that's what I went for.
My team.
Tommy, I got a question for you. So you traded for a quarterback here, and
you did make a draft deal. You did make a draft day deal.
I did make a draft day deal.
Are you confident in Mr. Deshaun Watson as your quarterback? Because I'm hearing nothing but not so good reports out of Cleveland out there on Mr. Watson.
I mean, we don't know. Like
what was the trade?
I got a short leash on him. I traded one of our league mates traded Deshaun Watson for my 9th round pick, and he ended up selecting Nico Collins in the 9th round. But he had already drafted Joe Burrow, so I knew you got a top 5 quarterback. He's going to start 90% of your season. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, you got Deshaun Watson still on his team. I don't have a quarterback yet. I think Watson can be, if he can give me top 12 production, I'm happy with it. I feel like he has the upside to be, top 8 maybe. So if I can make a trade for, a 9th round pick, I feel like, it's a pretty easy deal. I had no intentions of drafting Deshaun Watson. I was gonna just punt the position and get I was thinking get Tua later on Aaron Rodgers, but they ended up going to the very next round. But yeah, that's why I drafted Anthony Richardson as a backup. So we'll see what happens.
Did the fact that you drafted Amari Cooper influence that trade for that double bubble?
It
It's could have went Aaron Rodgers to Dak.
It kind of because he did when he draft Burrow in the fourth. Yeah, so that was right after I drafted Cooper. Yeah, because right after he drafted Joe Burrow, I started, flirting around, asking about, Deshaun Watson. So that's part of the reason why I want to keep Amari Cooper for the double bubble, but not necessarily why I traded for Deshaun Watson. It's just like a benefit to have both of them.
Understood.
Yeah.
So that limits you in trade talks, man.
No, I mean,
Amari Cooper won't be back.
If the price is right, everybody available.
I better get him while he hurt, man. Y'all better get him while he hurt. Better get him while he hurt.
Yeah, this was 2023, the league draft. Didn't turn out how I expected at all. It's our 11th year. You guys got anything else before we sign off?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I got a little something. I just want to shout out the league, the champ, Pudge, the runner-up, Tommy for being so gracious with that. And our home league. We promise next week to get back to the fantasy football and tie things back in, leave our home league alone. But right now is the most exciting thing going on for us. Next week, we have some real football upcoming on the next day. So look forward to that.
Yeah. Just a quick reminder for our league mates. I'm paying you guys, not that every win against Sean, you guys get paid. We don't trade with them. You guys get paid. Middle fingers up to Sean. I'm not going to do it on camera. You trying to get monetized?
This is definitely the definition of collusion right here. I don't know if you realize it.
I have no part of this. And he is no longer a commissioner, so I don't know.
He's just going rogue over here, man.
This boy twice. He done reset the draft.
I had a Shaq and a Fool commissioner moment over the weekend. We're not going to get into. We'll save that for the blooper reel. But we'll catch you guys next time. 3-Man Rush Show. We are out. Peace.
Peace, y'all.